I'm Karen Elgersma at the Royal BC Museum, and the Vikings have landed. Oh yes, they have. And this has been such an anticipated event.
I think it's a special, first of all, the quantity of material that we've gathered. 550 pieces. They're Scandinavian pieces. They're mainly from Sweden, many from the island of Birka, for those of you who've been there, very close to Stockholm on Lake Malar. Right. So quite a lot from archaeological finds. There's some underwater finds too that have been discovered. Quite a lot of everyday items. And beautiful, beautiful jewelry. I mean, amongst the most precious jewelry that's ever left Sweden. And this is the first time the majority of these things have ever been seen in North America.
There are so many layers and so many things of interest in this exhibit. Tell us about the exhibit that you've been hands-on putting together.
Well, I was involved in putting together a small module looking at the Canadian connection and some of the Viking fakery that's gone on in North America down in the Clifford Carl Hall. But I also have a real passion for looking at human beings as they spread throughout the world, and all my ancestors from Scotland, but of course a large number of people in Scotland are Viking.
Right.
And many of these people are a mixed bag. So when you look at things like the fact that the majority of women in Iceland are from a Celtic background, there's this incredible story that's waiting to be told there. I've been here for 42 years, and this is the best exhibit in terms of the quality of the information and the way it's organized. You have these nice little enclaves that deal with, say, religion, their farming life, their boating life. For example, this large ship here we have here, and what you have suspended is a bunch of rivets suspended in the air, and in the shape of a boat. What's that all about? Well, when archaeologists excavate these huge ships, the wood is often all rotted, and what you find is a black stain in the shape of a ship, but you might find, 175 rivets. Most of these sagas written about Vikings, the vast majority of those were written in Iceland, 300 years after the sagas were oral history. So there's this fascinating ability to connect these very early documents with the archaeology, and there's some of the personal body adornment is just absolutely incredible. To look at some of these beautiful little silver carvings, and what you see is a blending of artistic tradition from many different cultures.
You were really the person who carefully chose what would go in here. I loved it that you called it, some of these pieces, your darlings.
Yes, they are. Some of them are like good old friends for me.
How do you make those decisions in order to make it as engaging as it possibly can be?
Well, you have to look at the objects, of course, how they look themselves, and if they can travel as far as they will do, because they have been in Australia before and in Europe. This is the fourth stop for this exhibition. You also look at if they are typical for the Viking Age and what they can tell. A drinking horn could be a symbol for a goddess, but it could also be a symbol for the strong women who welcomed guests in the halls, the Viking aristocrats' hall. Also, if you bring the family, the kids will love excavating a boat grave or building a Viking ship, or looking at different kind of dresses, costumes. You should take time to read the information, because there are so much to learn here, and of course look at the objects. You shouldn't only read, you should stay a long time and look at the objects.
I have to say, my Icelandic blood was calling out to me, and now I just feel, I don't know, Vikingish. And of course, if you come to the gift store on your way out, you can have fun purchasing all these little things and come home and, I don't know, just get your Viking on.